Is Hypixel Skyblock fun? If you had asked me that about a year ago, I would have given you a definite no. At that point, I had played the game since 2019 and honestly, it got beyond repetitive. But if you were to ask me now, I'd have pretty mixed feelings. I've tried to come back to this game multiple times, but with this video, I think you and I both know I'm back. But this time, I'm taking on the challenge known as Iron Man. It's like regular Skyblock, only you spend 90% of your playtime mining endlessly, like a 9 to 5, and you can't have social interactions with anybody outside of your co-op, just like real life. Now, this time around, I was going to take things a bit easier and try to have fun with the game. So, on my very first day, I played for 12 hours straight, and then a 35-hour play session following that. Oh, and if you thought I was going to take a break after playing Skyblock for approximately 47 out of the 72 available hours, you'd be very wrong, as the rest of my first week back was filled with 12-hour grinds daily, plus a lot of it was streamed over on my Twitch, so go follow. Now, I do want to say that this profile was actually created over 2 years ago, but I had barely any playtime on it with only about 170 hours. I plan to rush into mining as soon as possible, as it is essential for this game mode, and it would probably start my journey. Now, rushing mining is pretty simple. All I need is a legendary Bell Pet, Gemstone Gauntlet, Jaded Divan. Now, those 3 items sound easy to get, right? Wrong. Alright, let's start off with the easy stuff. The Bell and Gemstone Gauntlet. For the Bell Pet, you kind of just have to break into this giant magma cube's home. Then you jump him, he'll cry, and when he runs away, sometimes he'll leave a child behind, which you can hire as an unpaid intern for coins. Also, I got a legendary on my second ever Bell killed. Now, the Gemstone Gauntlet is a bit more inconvenient, but still much easier than what's to come. So, the Gemstone Gauntlet requires 8 flawless ruby and 16 enchanted gold block. Now, each flawless ruby is 512,000 ruby to craft, and each enchanted gold block is 25.6 thousand gold. This totals out to 4.096 million ruby and 409.6 thousand gold. Now, this may sound like a lot, but it really only took about a day's worth of work. Now, with that out of the way, it was on to the Deine Armor, and oh boy, a full set of Deine Armor requires 4 flawless ruby, 24 Divine fragments, and 40 gemstone mixtures. For those of you who don't know, that's quite a bit. Okay, first step, acquire 24 Divine Fragments. Now, you get these from doing nucleus runs. Here's a quick explanation. In the Crystal Hollows, there are 5 crystals you have to collect. Once you put them all inside the nucleus, you get a bunch of loot, ranging from the Divine's Alloy and a Quick Claw to an Armadillo egg and a Helix. Here's how you get all the crystals. The Topaz crystal just requires you to beat up that half-dead Bell guy from earlier, then steal his crystal after he runs away. The Jade crystal requires you to use a metal detector in the Mines of Divine in order to find 4 tools, which can be traded for the crystal. The Amethyst crystal requires you to get a key from killing the Key Guardian. Then, using said key, you can go to the Jungle Temple, where you have to go through parkour and trap. Or you can use this funny little guy to just jump and get the crystal. The Amber crystal requires you to find the Goblin King. Then after you bring him 3 eggs, you will become Stinky. And then you can steal the crystal. And finally, getting the Sapphire crystal. And all I have to say is, fuck this guy. Professor Robot has cost me so many brain cells. So basically this guy here asked for 6 robot parts to open the door. Now on a normal profile you could just buy this off the bazaar, but since I'm on Iron Man, I had to kill literally thousands of automatons. Now each part has a 2% drop rate, so let's just say I did a spot of shanking. But after all that, you rinse and repeat 49 more times and you've done 50 nucleus runs. Oh, and you get enough Divine Fragments for the Deine Armor. All that was left was the flawless ruby, which was only about half of what I needed for the gauntlet, so it didn't take very long. And I was finally done, right? Very wrong. See, while the Deine Armor is good, what makes it the best mining armor in the game is the fact that it can hold 5 gemstones. But to unlock these slots, you need, well, 20 gemstone chambers. And each one of those chambers requires 1 gemstone mixture and 100 worm membranes. Now see, worms. They're normally pretty easy to get, but you see, I was trying to do it with some of the worst gear in the game. Yeah, see, the thing is, Starter Lava Rod has an impressive fishing speed of 8. Now, see, I kind of just ignored the terrible stats, but I'll be honest, I regret it now. To put it in perspective, in roughly 10 minutes, I get around 2 worm membranes, and considering I needed 2,000, well, I love spending 167 hours on worm membranes. Now, to Skyblock players, that probably doesn't sound like a lot of time, but just fishing, it's not fun. But for now, I decided to take a break from getting the worm membranes and focus on powder. See, you need gemstone and missile powder if you hope to make any decent profits from mining. The best way to get powder is through powder mining in the crystal hollows, and what that is basically running around instantly breaking the stone and chests will appear, and if you have the Great Explorer perk maxed out, you can instantly open them to gain a bunch of powder. I do want to note that there are also events that can help speed this up, like 2 times powder. Now, I was not only just getting powder from this grind, I was also gaining hardstone, which I needed a lot of for an item called a Silex. Silexes have the ability to add an extra efficiency level to an item with a max of 5 applications. Meaning, you could put it on a mining tool to increase the efficiency from 5 all the way up to 10. Or, you could put it on a diamond pickaxe to get secrets in a dungeons faster. But more on that later. I have so much work to do on this mining setup, but this grind is going to be sped up a lot because of an upcoming mare. Jerry is one of the best, maybe even the best mare in Skyblock. All his perks are amazing. Here's a list of his perks. Perk Apocalypse activates all perks of another mare for 18 Skyblock days or 6 hours. Stat Apocalypse increased most stats by 10%. Jerry Apocalypse reveals hidden Jerrys from logging? I think it's meant to say foraging. I literally copied this off the official wiki, but logging, farming, mining, and killing mobs. Now see, these hidden Jerrys, once killed, drop Jerry boxes, which can give you a whole bunch of loot. And a little bit of coins. Now, all 3 perks are incredible for my stage of the game because I need as many mares as soon as possible. I'm going to be putting in so many hours during this journey. As you probably saw before, I've been doing a bit of dungeons, but this has really only been my dailies. But on one of my dailies and on my 24th ever floor 6, I did something.
I had to go make the last little bit of money. I may have miscount. Anyway, the Iron Man Giant Sword.
Maybe I'm a little bit RNG carried, but I'm praying this RNG transfers over into the next mare, which is Diana. And I need a lot from her mythological event. A legendary Griffin pet, a legendary Beastmaster crest, and plus all the feathers for a Terminator. Now, I would mention all the other drops you get from Diana, but you actually can't get any of them until you have the legendary Griffin pet. See, that was PassBot, and PassBot forgot the amount of gold needed for all the Diana stuff, so I'm gonna skip that for now. After days of dailies, I was finally able to enter floor 7 of the catacombs. There would be more clips here, but honestly, there is more than enough dungeons content to come. Trust me. Now, there wasn't really that much time left before Jerry, but there were still a few things I needed to prepare. See, this Jerry, I was planning on doing minimal sleep to play as much as possible. And one of my goals during this Jerry was to do a bunch of floor 7. And so, I decided to go for the Juju Shortbow. The Juju Shortbow can be crafted at Enderman Slayer level 5 with 32 enchanted quartz, 32 enchanted quartz block, 32 Nolo Voids, and 32 enchanted Eye of Ender, and 192 enchanted strength. Now, at my current level, this would take multiple days of work, or I can use the power of friendship. Big thanks to Kai for carrying me through the Enderman bosses. Now that I had all the Null Spheres and the Enderman level to craft the bow, it was time for the quartz, string, and obsidian grind. Now, yes, my Juju still needs a lot of work, but it should work for now. Anyways, now it's just about time for Jerry, so I'm gonna go mentally prepare. Oh, and to answer the question from the start of this video, is Hypixel Skyblock fun? Nope.